Hey Lunacy Fighters, it's Shannon, and today I'm going to be talking to you about hair dye. Yeah, I know that's a little weird, and it's not really, something I would get into. I'm not a beauty blogger or something, but I'm actually going to talk to you about the dangers of hair dye. Yeah, I know, it's crazy, but seriously, hair dye can be seriously dangerous. And there have been some really bad effects that have happened, so I'm going to kind of go over that, go over my own experience, and share some article stuff with you. I mean, not actual articles. I'm not going to read them, but I can tell you about them. They'll be in the description. Anyway, so, yeah, we're going to talk about hair dye and the fact that it nearly killed me once. So, yeah. So, yeah, I have a small confession to make, although if you've been watching this channel for a while, this is not a surprise, but this is not my real hair color. My real hair color is this. Yeah. I had to go digging for that one. I had to go back to high school pre-dyeing my hair. But, yeah, so that's my real hair color. And I've been dyeing my hair since I was 14 years old. First I went red, then I went black. And for years and years, everything was fine. And, there's little inserts in hair dye that say, do a patch test to make sure you're not allergic. Well, I had been dyeing my hair for forever, and I never had a problem. And so I thought everything was hunky-dory. Well, then, all of a sudden, anytime I would dye my hair, my head would, break out in weeping sores, and it was really gross. And so I was like, okay, it's gotta be the ammonia, it's gotta be this, it's gotta be that. So, I was trying different hair dyes, doing patch tests. The patch test would be okay. And then I'd dye my hair again and break out into sores. Well, so, at one point I decided, I'll still dye my hair, it's not that bad. I get over it pretty quick. Well, then, this happened. This happened when I was washing the hair dye out, and the water had run in my eyes. And so I was like, okay, it's not that bad. I was determined to keep my hair black. I know that's stupid, but it's like, okay, it's just some irritation. It's not so bad, but maybe I shouldn't dye my hair anymore, right? And so I had resolved myself to be done at that point. Well, about a day later, I went to wash my hair to get, just take a shower. And apparently that reactivated the hair dye. And I took my shower, I went to bed, and I woke up looking like this. Yeah, it looks like I got in a fight with Mike Tyson. And the way I figured out something was wrong was I woke up and it's like I can usually see more. I usually have peripheral vision, but I don't. And so I grab my phone, pull it out to look at myself in my camera, and I am terrified. I freak out. I call my doctor. I go in. They had to give me a steroid shot. And after that, later that night, I looked like this. So it wasn't that bad. But he told me to have, someone else wash my hair, lean back so I don't get it on my face, and all of that. Well, then, anywhere I scratched, I broke out in these. And that was gross. So apparently, I went back to my doctor, and he told me that I had gone as close to anaphylactic shock as you can go. And to not, and this is a direct quote, not fucking do that again. So, doctor's orders, no more regular hair dye. Alright, so I started doing research, and I figured out what I'm allergic to is a chemical in hair dye called paraphenylenediamine. And apparently it's in pretty much every hair dye under the sun. And so the allergy can just crop up out of nowhere after years of exposure. And apparently black henna is also it also contains this, so people trying to get away from this reaction try henna and they react again and again, and apparently it can make you more susceptible if you use henna. So I did my research on it, and I'm not sponsored here. I just want to let people know about it, so in case they're going through this themselves. So I actually found this hair dye that I've been using for about 2.5 years. It's called Cosima. Love Your Color. It's PPD free, which that's the abbreviated of paraphenylenediamine. Look out for anything that calls itself chemical free, because everything is chemicals. Stop it. Alright, nothing's chemical free. But henna is not safe from this crap, so if you have a PPD allergy, do not use henna. Alright? But this stuff has no peroxide, no ammonia, PPD free. And I've been dyeing my hair with it, and no reaction. So that's cool. But this does have darker possibilities. So I found this story on the Daily Mail, which I hate the Daily Mail. I don't want to give them my clicks, but I will put an archive link to the story below. But so this story is coroner attacks cosmetics firm after mother died of massive allergic reaction to her L'Oreal hair dye. Julie McCabe slipped into a coma after a severe reaction to L'Oreal hair dye. The 38-year-old never regained consciousness and died a year later in 2012. She'd had a henna tattoo in 2007, making her more susceptible to reactions. Visited a doctor 20 times complaining of the allergy but symptoms but still used the hair dye, which she shouldn't have done. Coroner warned cosmetic industry has no idea how many have allergies. He is also hoping to increase public awareness into the danger of black henna. But he goes into the fact that apparently henna has really, really, really high concentrations of PPD. And I didn't know that, even doing research back then when I was trying to find alternatives. So it's so scary how bad things can get so fast. So basically just be aware of the dangers, and if you start having, if you are dyeing your hair and you start having pain and burning and it feels like your head is swelling, wash that shit off and never look back at regular box dyes. And this shit can happen out of nowhere, and there have been 3 deaths recorded as of 2015. There may be more now, but I mean, it's scary, and it's becoming more and more prevalent. A friend of mine works at a salon and was telling me people come in not knowing what to do because they've dyed their hair and now they have sores all over their head and they don't know what's going on. And it's happening more and more often. So it's scary. It's scary. People can die from dyeing their hair. That's insane. So, yeah, I'll leave a link to that hair dye in the description. The hair dye I get. And also an archive link to that story about that mother that died. Yeah, so that's about it. If you like what I do here, if you like my channel, please consider becoming a patron. Or if you want to do things on a less regular business, especially since Patreon's kind of doing some stupid stuff and I'm trying to find an alternative, check out PayPal. And if you want to get me some hair dye, because the stuff can get expensive, yeah, take a look at my Amazon wish list. I have hair dye in there. So, alright guys, until next time, this is Shannon. Beware of the hair. Bye!